Hey there, today we're going to do another My Take on a pattern. So this one looks like it's going to be actually a lot of fun, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. So let's do this. Hello and welcome, this is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and today we're working on this one. This is pattern, it is 82110 from friendshipbracelets.net. And when I first was looking at this pattern, I was really interested in this center part here. I thought that would make it like a cool part of the design. But I kind of got thinking about this, and I think we're going to change what we do with it. So let me just get this rotated and then make it bigger. And I'll show you why. All right, scale, the move tool. Let's move it up here like this. And anchor it. So this part takes up a big space, and I realized if I put that right in the center, it might not, I don't think it'll have room to do it like a couple more times. So I think we're going to start with this in the center and then have two of this part of the design happening. That's my thought. So we're going to try to use the same colors here. So we've got this yellow, and then the red goes sort of this way. Right. And then the yellow comes this way. All right, so this one gets a little bit complicated, so I kind of want to put in the strings where we know they are kind of out the gate. I don't know which direction this goes, so I'll leave that out. I can tell this goes this way, so that's sort of handy. Normally, it would say that like the yellow would be off to the sides and stuff, but there's so much like little zigzags and stuff going in here. I don't want to make weird assumptions and get it wrong. So this one goes like this, right? And then this one is inside of it, and then it goes this way. So if we put in this little piece here first, it'll be easier to kind of wrap this stuff around and figure out where it goes, because yeah, a little less counting. A little less likely to make a mistake is basically it, just a little bit easier. Because we can see that the dark one sort of just hugs around it like that. See how much easier that was? Okay. So this blue goes all the way to the outside and comes back over here like this. And then into one of these kind of diamonds, and then into one of these things. All right, and this dark color comes around it like that. Yeah, see, putting in the lighter blue first just made doing that darker blue a whole lot easier. Seriously, that was a lot easier. All right, so let's figure out some of this stuff now. We got the dark blue lined up, so this is at least to there, right? Because it's the only direction it can kind of go is that straight through that way, right? And you can see I'm being cautious. I'm trying to make sure that I don't just make assumptions. This is not one of those kind of patterns where things just kind of went in a nice straight row or something. It doesn't seem to be anything quite like that. So yeah, these can come out this way. This is, don't know where that goes. Find that out later. So again, this is, if you've been around, you know that my motto on this is we do the easy stuff first. The rest will just kind of fall into place. So this is what I'm essentially doing, is finding what is the easiest parts and getting that knocked out. And then we'll come back and see what we're left with. And then it should be a lot easier. So if you're new here, I am a guy who's been making bracelets for a very long time. And my goal is to teach you guys how to be able to take a pattern and figure out how to make it your own or how to balance it out. Like in this case, we are making it so that way it will fit the amount of knots that I have already like kind of predetermined. So this whole little template thing is based on bracelets that I've already made and know that this is about the right size for a bracelet. And yeah, you can actually get this graph paper over on my website, AKAAWOL.com, and you can size it up to whatever, how many ever knots you tend to do, and then you can work out your patterns as well. I think it's a great skill to have. I think if you're going to make bracelets, I think this is really a nice way of doing it, because you know I can make it all symmetrical. And if you're not new here, you know that's a really big thing that I like to do. All right, so the light blue is here, and then here. Okay. Then it sort of disappears. But in order to do that, it has to change directions at the edge here. See, that's not, yeah. And then that's, see, good thing I didn't make this come down or whatever else. This blue has to come through this way. Like has to, like that's the only way that that's gonna work out. So this can come this way. Interesting. So yeah, it's not quite intuitive. So this yellow ends up here for these three. It looks like it does this. Did I do this wrong? I did somehow. How is that wrong? One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this one came all the way out to the edge. Okay, so our middle is going to be different. I did it wrong. I don't want to actually undo it because I kind of like how it is, but instead of having 4 in the center, it's going to be 1. And it comes through here. Yeah, it's just changed slightly, but it gives us the right amount of room because where that blue ends right here, then we have the yellow like this, and then we'll have the red, which would be perfect. So yeah, making it 1 row less is just slightly. Wow, I didn't see that as I was working on it. I don't know how I missed it. All right, let's do these in. And this has to come this way. And I'm guessing that means the yellow comes out and goes there, so. All right. Kind of has to, because it makes it to the other side. That goes that away. All right. And then this goes like this. And then it was just straight shots along the edge to here and here. Cool. So yeah, I mean, call that a happy accident, I think. I honestly thought I had had that calculated out perfectly. But yeah. All right, so what else we got? There is this blue, which is here and through here. And there. So this part's easy. Could only be this way. And then following its path, that's pretty easy too. And then it can kind of only go this way, right? This is, you can kind of see everything, all the rest of the paths are taken. And that's how it makes it down here to do this. And this dark blue will come this way. And this blue comes this way. Kind of like the way it's kind of solving itself out through here. That makes it really super easy. Essentially, because it's the path that's left, like this made an angle, I'm kind of just following the spaces that are available, and it's putting the colors right where they're supposed to go. So yeah, again, we did the easy part first, and it makes the rest of it easy as well. All right. All right, so let's see. This light blue does this and down. Like that. And at this point, because we won't need the strings to do a whole lot of anything else at the end, how they end up might not matter as much. Like we need to have this red needs to come out here in order to be in place. But the rest of the underlying strings at this point don't matter as much. You know, this is, again, one of those things about when you're designing, you can kind of try to make things easier on yourself at times. I could kind of see what's going on the other side, just trace out what order those things went into. See, like this. Let's back this up a bit. Right? This color can come out through this way. Right? Doesn't it? Before it went straight out because that's where it was needed. Right? But it it didn't have to be. Making it come this way kind of almost makes more sense when you're setting it up. There's a little less zigzags than this one just comes straight through from out here. See, that little change up just may have made the whole start for me a lot easier, and it doesn't affect the overall rest of the pattern of the bracelet. You know, so when you're designing, that's another thing to take into account. You can still get the same effects, but you can sometimes change the directions of the strings. So yeah, there we go. So there's our top half. Now all I have to do is get this select tool and kind of locks onto that little middle grid line there. Control C, Control V, which is copy and paste. This is the flip tool, and we're flipping vertically. And then we shift this down. And we can use the arrow keys to line that up. That's nice right there. We go and anchor that layer. And there's our whole bracelet. So yeah, remember I was saying there wouldn't be room for 3? I was spot on. There is only room for 2, and if we had made this with a bigger center like this had, we wouldn't have had room for the red on the end, which I think would have I think that would have made me sad, actually. I really like the way this turned out. So yeah, little customization there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I sure did. I really did. So yeah, before I go, I want to thank my Patreon supporters who made this possible. I couldn't make the videos and stuff without their help, so I really appreciate it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, you've been around here this long, please hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.